Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Real Nigga News Network. Real news brought to you by me, a real nigga. Today we have, yesterday, Friday the 19th, we had the long-awaited release of the Epstein files. All the 76 million Americans that voted for Donald Trump that was like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna he's gonna drain this swamp. I'm sure they were very excited to come and see the draining of the swamp in real time. I'm sure all the Trump voters who haven't gotten any cuts or discounts on their groceries, haven't gotten their medical insurance is going to skyrocket. Their housing costs are constantly skyrocketing. Energy costs are going through the roof because of AI data centers. I'm sure this is the first dub that they're going to get, right? Wait. Is there something wrong with the website? Are all these pages redacted? I thought this was the most transparent administration on earth. In existence. In thought. Of course not. You guys crazy? Why the hell would Trump release the Epstein files with his name in it? You guys crazy? Well, a good chunk. Well, first of all, the first revelation was that the Justice Department was supposed to release all of the Epstein files. They have only released some of the files. And in that release, a lot of that was heavily redacted in what the Justice Department claims is to protect, victims and I guess uncharged or uninvolved people in the background, I guess. I don't know. But, there were some stuff that was unredacted that the Justice Department was comfortable to release. And funny enough, it seemed like most of those people were Democrat-leaning or Democrat-adjacent, like Bill Clinton, Billy Clinton, Billy and Hillary. Well, first of all, let's talk about Bill. Bill, you freaked the hell out, my guy. There is a picture of you. Brother. And we're going to go over what Bill Clinton had to say about all of his dirty laundry being aired out. But Billy boy, what are we doing here in the hot tub or in the pool with Ghislaine Maxwell and unidentified third person? And there was another one where he's chillaxing. This one, Billy. I'm assuming the person that's redacted is not Hillary. So, Billy, what you doing there? You got some gray hair, so you and Hillary been married for a while, sir. Monica wasn't enough. These dudes got matching shirts, matching pajamas. Like, we already knew, the depravity that was Jeffrey Epstein because he was already convicted for sex crimes. And it wasn't just Bill Clinton as well. There were plenty of pictures of this is Prince Andrew lying on the laps of what appears to be multiple women, ages unknown. Prince Andrew has had to, because of the controversy that has been coming out, distance himself from the, well, I don't know if he did it himself or he was excommunicated from the royal family because he doesn't go by Prince Andrew anymore. He goes by Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. There's pictures of Michael Jackson but then it was funny because there was a picture of Michael Jackson with this one, with Diana Ross and these three people redacted. If you go online, and I'll see if I can put it in the video post edit, it's just Bill Clinton meeting Michael Jackson, and these are Michael Jackson's children. So it just seems like this picture is just oddly postured to make it seem like all these three are in something nefarious when we don't know what happened before or after this photo was taken. But the actual photo is Bill Clinton meeting Michael and his family. Chris Tucker with Ghislaine Maxwell. That's what I'm more concerned about. Because Bill Clinton, from my perspective in this web of pedophilia, was a client. He wasn't an orchestrator. He was just a receiver of services, probably the top client. Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and I would even put, you know, Alan Dershowitz, a bunch of other people in there, the Mossad, as the orchestrators or the puppeteers of this system. So if I see someone adjacent with Jeffrey or adjacent with Ghislaine Maxwell, you are that to me signals more that you are either in on what they're doing, you know what they're doing, whereas this one could just be very simply Michael Jackson and Diana Ross. Like, I'm not trying to downplay it if it is eventually comes out that this was something terrible. This just looks like Michael is very uncomfortable in a fan photo with Bill Clinton, in my opinion, and their children. Again, I'll see if I can put it in the video afterwards. Ghislaine Maxwell at 10 Downing Street. I mean, I don't really give a shit about this. Epstein threatened to burn down house. One of the first people to report Epstein is included in the files. Maria Farmer, an artist who worked for Epstein, told the FBI in a 1996 report that he had stolen personal photos she took of her 12 and 16-year-old sisters. She said in a complaint that she believed he sold the photos to potential buyers and said he threatened to burn her house down if she told anyone about it. Her name is redacted in the files, but Farmer confirmed the account was hers. Several 100,000 pages still have not been released. Among the documents released on Friday are many that are redacted, including police statements, investigative reports, and photos. More than 550 pages of the files released on Friday were fully redacted, according to CBS. These include a document related to a grand jury investigation where 100 pages were entirely blacked out. Officials, as outlined in the law, were allowed to redact materials to protect the identity of victims or anything related to an active criminal investigation, but they were required by law to explain such redactions, which has not yet been done, and I doubt. I mean, Thomas Massie might drive enough public pressure that we can get some explanations as to why these redactions were done. But, you know, with familiarity of how the Trump admin operates, if they're not, you know, forced to do something through public pressure or, I guess, political opportunity, they're not going to do it. The thousands of pages released on Friday are only a share of what is to come, according to the Justice Department. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said that the department was releasing several 100,000 pages on Friday and that he expected several 100,000 more to be released over the coming weeks. He told Fox and Friends that the department was heavily vetting each page of material to ensure every victim, their name, their identity, their story, to the extent that it needs to be protected, is completely protected. That is a process, he argued, that takes time. But wouldn't this process, once the law was passed, the Epstein Crimes Transparency Act or whatever it's called, shouldn't that process have already been started to, because you had, the deadline was Friday, December 19th. So you had from when the law was passed back in November, I think, to begin the process of all this redaction. Just doesn't really make sense. The timing of when additional materials will be released is unclear, and lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have expressed frustration. But are they going to do something? Are they? Because look, Democrats, including Congressman Ro Khanna, have threatened action against members of the Justice Department, including impeachment or possible prosecution over the delay. Khanna led with Republican Congressman Thomas Massie to force a vote on the Epstein Files Transparency Act, defying U.S. President Donald Trump, who had first urged his party to vote against the measure. The DOJ's document dump of hundreds of thousands of pages failed to comply with the law, he said on social media, adding in a video that all options are on table were being mulled over by him and Massie. I don't know the likelihood of Congress coming together to impeach active members of the Justice Department. I don't know if there'll be enough turncoats in the Republican Party to do so, but something has to be done. You can't. I mean, like, me personally, I don't really give a shit about I care that the victims get justice, but I was not going to vote for someone whether or not they're going to release the Epstein files. Like, that's not a priority. I'm not going to say I don't care. That's not a top priority for me as a voter. But it was for Trump supporters, and if that's something that you did vote for, what in this release has shown you that you're going to get, because you didn't get what you voted for when they first came out and said we're not going to release everything, and then now you are unclear as to what it is they're hiding. You're going to get just more and more blacked out pages of stuff that the DOJ is going to say is protecting the victims, and we all know it's not solely meant to protect the victims. It's also meant to protect homie upstairs, you know? So yeah, if that's something that you voted for, you should be pissed. You should be angry. You should be, people on the outside who are vehement anti-Trumpers, Democrats, leftists, progressives, whatever, even liberals, whatever. They already know that we're all fully aware of how non-transparent this admin is. For those that are still sipping the Kool-Aid, what do you have left? Like I said in the intro, grocery prices are not going down. I don't care what the fuck any bots on social media be commenting. Oh, my gas here is down 30 cents. Across nationally, we are hurting in damn near every aspect, and it's only going to get worse once everyone's health insurance skyrockets. What do you have left to stand on when we have to go and participate in the midterms next year? What is going to bring you to the polls to actually do something so that we can actually enact change and build things to build a better future instead of this destructive, fascistic path that we are trending towards, because you guys got caught up in a cult of racism and a cult of conspiracy. And now the conspiracy is playing out in front of your fucking face. What are you going to do about it? The don't tread on me, folks, with the stupid ass flag and the snake and shit. What are you going to do now that the folks are treading on you? When the Trump admin runs out of immigrants to ship out of the country, and all that's left are white dissidents, and you have a difference of opinion because you don't support sending money to Argentina, you think people are going to come and advocate for you when everyone else got shipped out already? Yeah, there were other celebrities too, like Mick Jagger. There was a New York Times reporter. Kevin Spacey. And it's like people that have already been, it's funny, it's like even if these celebrities will eventually claim that they had no criminal interactions with Jeffrey Epstein, Kevin Spacey has already been outed as a sex pest. Chris, why do you have so many pictures with Jeffrey Epstein? Why, Chris? And also, I would like to mention, again, the LGBTQ plus community has to undergo constant harassment, threats, discrimination, accusations of pedophilia, that they're brainwashing children, brainwashing the youth. We can't have gay teachers because they're gonna negatively influence the students. And the same crowd saying that is suddenly very quiet when there's an active unveiling of something nefarious with children and child sex abuse material, because that was also redacted by the DOJ, involving Jeffrey Epstein and the President of the United States. The power of bigotry.